All right, so it looks like we finally have a date for the Brave Frontier collab that is happening in Los Claudia. Looks like it's coming out June 18th. So when this video comes out, it'll be a couple days, like couple days, almost a week before this comes out because I'm not going to count the days. But yeah, um, so tweet reads Lost Claudia X Brave Frontier. The heroes step into the world of Lost Claudia and they use the image of the summoning gate for this, which is interesting. I still don't think we know who the units are going to be. I know they used like an image of Ark and his girlfriend. I don't remember her name, but they used that. But I don't think it's going to be Ark. I do think it's going to be the six heroes. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It makes sense on why it could be Ark because he's kind of like not the one pulling the strings, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be Arc though. I will say that. I think it's gonna be like I said, six heroes, maybe to Lilith, but that's a lot of characters for a single collab. But let's see what people are saying about this. I'm excited for this. The only downside that sucks is I had like 3K gems, but yeah, let's just say Libera came out and I didn't realize, she looked kind of cool. And I may have like used a lot of my gems on her to get her right before I was about to be out of gems. So I gotta grind. But anyways. Alright. I played Frontier, but never got the hype. What made it good, aside from not having much competition at the time it was popular, Brave Frontier and even an earlier mentioned Defenders of Textile were my introduction to gacha games. Brave Frontier, I remember having fun. Summons were cheap and easy to get materials for, and the upgrade system seemed cool to my teenage self. Was something fun to do on my phone. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I think a lot of people definitely will say that games like Brave Frontier, Blood Brothers, I think Defender of Textile was also something else that like definitely um wait, what? Okay, I'm gonna look into this later, but I think that is the game that I'm also thinking of that, you know, also just had a lot of people wanting to play gacha games. It was like their first introduction to it. But yeah, no wrong with that. It kind of pioneered on the squad-based gacha game RPGs that I still enjoy today. A lot of people still playing these gacha games rather than the Genshin twipe types than other popular games started with Brave Frontier once upon a time. Source Brave Frontier was the start of my decade and a half so far affair with gacha slots. And it's free. Truly a frontier they paid for other gachas to appear. Brave Frontier is one of the OG of gacha games back in the day. It was so popular, I would see commercials on TV for it. Final Fantasy, Brave, Exodus dethroned them down the line, but still a great game. Funny you should mention that. I have to cover something that happened with that game as well, but that'll be for a separate video. But yeah, um, I've been chasing for a Brave Frontier like game and never found one. Lost Claudia feels like it should, but doesn't scratch the itch. The battle system in Brave Frontier is just too good and polished for even today's standard. Brave Frontier Combat was inspired by Valkyr Profile and Super Robot Tyson OG. Really? Isn't Valkyr Profile like a card game or something? I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm not wrong. It's kind of interesting if that is the case. To build on what was already said, the main innovation from this was the wide variety of units. Almost all were upgradable and had different sprites and animation effects. Brave Frontier had a number of issues, but it was unquestionably rich with lore, designs, and staples that definitely identify gacha games. Very true. Brave Frontier definitely did have a lot of issues, especially if you play the game since day one and they released powerful units and you cleared all the content and there was really nothing else you could do to get gems besides Frontier Hunter, but that wouldn't have guaranteed you to get the new unit like how other, especially now in 2026, to where we have all these gacha games and essentially the majority of them essentially have a thing to where if you don't get a unit in like I think it's like 20 drops, you get it guaranteed. Brave Frontier didn't have that, obviously. Brave Frontier also didn't have multi summons. So I imagine if Brave Frontier was still around, they would implement a lot of the stuff for that. But it had its issues. but it still was a really good game. Okay, with all the issues it had, it was still just a fun time to just load up Brave Frontier, do Frontier Hunter, or do the trials, or grind to level 999 to get the Summoner's Robe in the Summoner's arc. Even though getting to clearing everything in that arc was bad. It sucked, but it was fun to do. You can just look back and be like, yeah, man, I did all this. It felt good. But again, it did have its issues, like every other game out there. Maxwell or Riot, isn't there a unit in this game that has endless and recites the same thing Maxwell did? I know Grand Summoners does. Well, hate fighting Marzox and Grand Summoners. Endless just lasts too long and you can't do anything about it but just sit there. This is so peak. Let's go. I will literally shed a tear if I'm greeted with the Brave Frontier menu music. Would not surprise me if they do that. Would not surprise me. Dang, I'm like, oh wow. Jeez. OMG, I'm coming back to this game. This is my first gotcha. Nothing else compares to Brave Frontier, true and real. I remember staying up late at night with plushies in my bed to finally beat Maxwell, running through my junior high hallway, screaming to let everyone know. That's so wholesome. Aw, that's wholesome. Man. Again, I made videos about like the memories I've had with Brave Frontier and like how it could have been, how Brave Frontier would have been different in last year. I'm probably not doing for this year because it would basically just be the same points I made last year. So I'm not gonna do that one. You can check out that one I made last year, but it man, it still sucks that Brave Frontier is gone. Like the OG one, obviously we're getting recoded, worked on, but man, there was just something so great about beating a trial like that was difficult, especially before we got mitigators and stuff. It was magical. All right, it was just something amazing about being able to just do that, telling your friends about it, and just being able for everyone to celebrate, being like, "Oh my god, guys, I finally beat this trial. This is the team that I used. I did X, Y, and Z." It was amazing. I don't think a lot of games do that no more. Like people really don't celebrate it like that. I could, I'm not lying. I am lying because people in Dokkan Battle do that, but I don't know. It's not the same. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, because obviously, I Dokkan Battle came out like in 2016, so Brave Frontier was around. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent, but yeah, just this has made me just reminisce about when I finally beat Maxwell, and I sent it to my friends, being like, "Guys, I did it. I finally beat Maxwell." It was just good times. Good times. Sorry. Finally, holy hype. I don't think we're getting Shion, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Again, I no, I don't think it's gonna be Shion. I think it's gonna be the 6 heroes. How are you gonna collab with the game that died? Oh wait, you don't mean to tell me they're still lurking around in Crypts and Heroes, are they? Okay. Well, yeah. But yeah, to wrap up, we finally have the date for Brave Frontier to Lost Claudia. Brave Frontier X Lost Claudia collab. I'm excited. I can't wait for this collab to happen. Hopefully, again, it is just the 6 heroes that are the summonable units. Arc might be there, Lilith might be there, but I imagine it's just going to be the heroes, and that's probably going to be it. But yeah, June 18th. So today's Friday, so in 6 more days we have this collab coming. I'm excited. Again, I'm summoning for whatever they release in this game. So I'm happy. I'm excited. But yeah, with that out of the way, what characters do you want for this collab? Are you going to summon for all of them? I am. Um, and I think that's it. June 18th, Lost Claudia, Brave Frontier. Be there. Summon. And who knows? If it does well enough, they might bring it back. They might bring back Brave Frontier OG. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah.